Hello, how are you doing today? Welcome to Sherry's Plants, and I'm gonna call this video "Dream a Little Dream" because things have changed in my life recently. Where I've recently gonna show you around my garden area while I talk. Have recently become unemployed. That wasn't really by my choice, but that is where I'm at. But I've always had a side hustle or have been trying to start a nursery. And what people don't realize until you get into it, it could be a lot of things can be very manual labor and time consuming, and there's a learning curve, and there's all sorts of things that go into it that you're just totally unaware until you start playing with it. And the thing is though, you got to get started. So I always have started on it, but I'd fall behind because I was working full time for somebody else, and whatever I do, I put 100% into. So I was completely tired of the type of physical work that I was doing, and then coming home and trying to physically accomplish lots of things that I needed to get done here, and the two weren't jiving. So I would come out here and I would plant the plants, because that is what gives me the peace, is planting the plants. You see the weeds all over the ground, I would just ignore that and plant the plants. Now, I've been pulling these weeds a lot, that's how bad they get out of control. But you find yourself at a point where it all becomes overwhelming. So right now I do have to look for work, so I still can't do this 100% like I would like to. But I want to tell you that meanwhile, I'm going to chase the dream until I'm still filing for jobs every day and see what I can get for a job, because I need insurance and things like that. And that's the reality of life. Just like weeds are. Weeds are a reality of life. But, I sort of think that I don't know, I keep coming back to YouTube. For some reason, I feel like I have a voice, I have something to say. I'm 54 years old, and I spent my life trying to be the best mom, be the best wife, be the best employee, and I lost myself and my ideas and the things that I like to do and all of that. So while I can, I'm gonna take the time and get peace in the idea of moving forward. Here recently, I got a bunch of man caves in. I think they're beautiful. I think they're going to be stunning. I've been repotting these hanging baskets. I've recently just decided to put Purple Heart and Vinca in them. And I do have a few with a few bad hair days. You can see that picture of how that man cave comes out. So I thought they'd be kind of pretty in a hanging basket. So not all the hanging baskets, you'll see the dead ones, they're from last year that I haven't reinvigorated yet. But one of my favorite annuals, and it's not really an annual. Some of them create a potato underneath that you can save for the next year. You can take cuttings over the winter and so forth, to carry on to the next year. So they're somewhat hardy, but as soon as it gets below 50 degrees, they start turning downhill. Now, I've been kind of hiding these over here. My chickens and turkeys will eat these to nothing if they find them and see them. So soon I'll have to hang them back up, and hopefully they don't find them before I do. Over here, and like I say, the weeds, you can tell these guys are really needing transplanted up to a 1 gallon pot. And so some of the things that come to starting a nursery, people think, oh yeah, I'll just do like a garage sale and open the back door, and sell plants. Well, if you sell plants in Florida, pretty much the Department of Agriculture is going to show up on your door and ask you for a license. So that's one thing you got to do. Not the licensing was such a big deal. They just kind of come out and look at the health of your plants and that kind of thing. I was really intimidated by it the first year, and it went really easy, but I have a feeling they're going to be a little harder on me next year, so I do have a nursery license. However, I have not yet sold a plant. I wanted to show you guys this. These are goji berries, and it's become my experience that goji berries don't love to be in a pot. The roots that come out the bottom, they always look scraggly. These are healthy goji berry plants. I'll show you some that I bought in that were in a 1-gallon pot. Those I think need transferred, but over here, look at this. This is a Phoenix Tears goji berry. Look at how bad it looks. It just looks like sticks. Now this one's getting flowers, and there'll be goji berries on it soon. So here's a few of my little pet projects over here. I got a couple calla lilies I want to divide up. I have some loquats for my personal self. There's 3 of them here I want to plant in the ground. I have some begonias I'm trying to revive from last year over here. There's some more begonias. And so yeah, those are my pet plants. This is another pet plant that I'm not doing well with, the orchid. I need to find a special spot for it back there in the woods. Anyhow, so I guess the message you know, and so I didn't know what, you know, getting a nursery license would be like until I did it. You just got to keep moving through these things and doing whatever little you can. And, you know, I've tried to pick up a YouTube channel quite a few times, and, you know, not sure what to talk about, or the fact is I feel like I'm moving so slow compared to all these blackberries. I got Kia, I don't know how to pronounce it, but look at how wicked those thorns are. Those are awful. They're gonna be a pain to transplant. On the other hand, I do got the Ouachita, I believe, and they're not nearly as vigorous, but they don't have the so I don't know why, sorry. Anyhow, so over here, this is what I've been working on. It's been labor intensive, you know. Florida, it's hot in the mornings. I mean, 70, 80 degrees up until 10:30, and then we start pushing 90. So as far as physical labor goes, I try and get up and run out the door and do some physical labor, plant some plants, and I'm going to show you the project I've been working on and the dream. Anyhow, I'm going to continue to pursue as long as time permits me to. Anyhow, so I've been tearing down this shade house right here, and I've been burning the wood. I've been trying to keep an eye on the wood. So every morning, every day, I get several loads of wood and taking it over here. Now, you can see the weeds have gotten away, and this was always falling down. This place used to be a nursery when we bought it, and part of the reason why I liked it is because it was sort of a blueprint in my mind of where, you know, where to start or whatever. But I do plan on moving some of these big pots, and I'm tearing down this wood and burning, and then I'm working on the weeds, and I'm hoping within a week or two I'll be able to have all my plants out here. And I'm going to use the old weed mat. I might take a pressure washer, come out here and try and blast the weeds, but I've removed all the weeds in here times before, so I'm not that intimidated by it. Actually, that's sort of the last step in my mind. But some of these pots came with the nursery. We found them up underneath trees everywhere. This place was more overgrown than what we have it now, and I would dig them up and find them everywhere. And I'm not into right now using anything with large pots, but I know how expensive they are, and down the road that could definitely be beneficial if I get some plants that need to be potted in such big pots. But soon I'm going to be moving these out. I have a broken down shed over there that I'm going to be putting the big pots at, and I'm just going to start cleaning up, throwing out, and dressing this up, and hopefully it won't be long I'll be moving plants out here and selling them out here. So that's the dream, and that isn't the end of the dreams. I have in my mind, I want a food nursery where I want people to be able to grow food easily. So I'm going to focus on food plants that look good, that can be in your front yard and be pretty, and also that are easy to grow in this area. I don't want to, for instance, citrus. Citrus is really, it takes a lot of skill to grow citrus, so I don't really think that I'll get into citrus, but I definitely think blackberries and blueberries and grapes and kiwi fruit and things of this nature. And what I had planned on doing down the road is, you can see all the wild blackberries we haven't mowed in ages, but you see we got the muscadine grapes there. I wanted to plant some blackberries, some goji berries, more or less. I want to put chairs. I also have figs that I'm growing in lines way out there. I want to plant a lot of mulberries for the chickens, and I want people to be able to come in and have a seat, sit on a bench in the grapevines or in the blackberries, and maybe have a little blackberry festivals or things of that nature here. And yeah, so that's the dream. It's a big dream, you know, but if we ever get there, I don't know. But I'll keep pushing for it and doing what I can when I can to get to that place, because working towards those goals bring me peace. And I guess that's what I'm encouraging people to do, is regardless of what people say in your life, you know, whether people say it's stupid or you're wasting money or how come you spend so much time working or whatever, if it's something that you enjoy, I believe that it's put in your heart and put in your soul for a reason for you to pursue it. So I'd like to encourage everybody to pursue their dreams. And hopefully I'll be able to open this nursery to the public soon and see how it goes. But and also, don't be intimidated by all the little steps and boundaries. You know, this week I have a credit card reader coming in to the mail from PayPal to take in-person credit cards. And I'm not a cell phone person, and you got to have either a cell phone or internet, and being out here away from power, I imagine I'm going to have to figure out with my cell phone how to take you know, credit cards. But you know, it's another learning curve. It's another talent that you learn. So is inventory and all these other things that you don't really think about. The other thing that could be a challenge if you're thinking of a plant-based startup of your own, that right now that I'm having a challenge with, I'm going to sit for a second. I've been sort of babysitting the fire. I don't want to get out of hand. Is the cost of dirt. And yeah, it might, you know, you might be able to find a place you can get a plant for 50 cents or $2, but you have to buy 100 of them. And 100 plants at $2, you just spent $200 on one variety of plant. Now you got to buy the soil. The pot's going to cost you 50 cents. The soil is probably, right now it's costing near $1 for every plant you plant. So, and then you got labor into that, and then you need the space, and so there's there's lots of pieces to the puzzle, and I have to say right now, and particularly in my area, soil is the really hard one. I just bought